हेलो, आवाज़ आ रही है सर? ऑनलाइन में? ओके। सुप्रभात सभी को। ओके सर। जून 2023 का हम लोग करंट अफेयर्स कर रहे हैं एंड दिस वुड बी प्रोबेबली द सेकंड लास्ट लेक्चर. Today we will cover the social issues. Tomorrow we will start the economy, and after that there would be science and technology. Okay, and the remaining portion of this magazine you need to read on your own, especially regarding the government schemes. Okay, the important schemes we will definitely cover. So today we are going to start the social issues of June 2023. So let's start. What is the first issue? The first issue is the Dima Hasao Peace Pact. Have you heard about this word? Have you ever heard Dima Hasao? Okay, no need to worry. Let's discuss what is this. It is regarding the Northeast insurgency. This is an issue of the internal security actually, but definitely will be covered in the social issues because internal security is itself a social issue. So what's the thing? The thing is, we know that in the northeastern area of India, when we look at the map of India, it is like this. This is this. I'm very gold medalist in the calligraphy or the drawing. So just understand. The point is, this is the area which is the northeastern area of India. And northeastern area of India, when we talk about the pre-independence era, this particular region, today this region comprises of 7 sisters. 7 sisters means 7 states called as 7 sisters. We know that there is a Arunachal Pradesh, then we have Assam, and then we have Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura and Meghalaya. These are the 7 sisters. Now when we will talk about the pre-independence era, then in the pre-independence era, all these districts, all these states were not there. There was only a single state or the single you can say province, that is considered as Assam only Assam. So at the juncture of the independence, Indian political map was redrawn on the various occasions. We know that state reorganization acts have been passed. The first act was in 1956 post independence. So at the time of independence, the Indian territories were divided into 4 parts. Just understand this. At the time of independence in the 1947, when we got independence, the Indian territories were divided into 4 parts. 4 parts. The part A, part B, part C and part D. Okay sir, these 4 parts were there. Okay, what we see today, the political map of India, it was it was developed over the period of time after the so many reorganization act. Okay sir, in the Constitution of India, in the very first part A, that is Union and the states, the first part of Constitution of India, or you can say first chapter of Constitution of India, there is article 1, 2, 3 which specifically deal with the political map of India. Okay, so under 2 and 3 article, under article 2 and 3, the parliament of the country have right to redraw the political map of country. What is the meaning of redrawing the political map of country? It means the parliament has power to make new states or alter the boundary of existing states. Are you getting my point? Parliament have power to convert a state into UT or a UT into state. The state themselves, or the, you can say in the other word, the provinces themselves or the states in the non-conventional sense, that is the Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal. Okay, these states do not have power to change their boundary, to alter their boundary. They cannot change their boundary. They cannot change even their names. Okay, it is the prerogative of the parliament under the article 2 and 3 to make new states, to change the to convert states to UTs or UTs to state. So holistically we can say one thing, under the article 2 and 3 it is the parliament of the country which have right to redraw the political map of the country. Okay, so who can redraw the political map of country? It's the parliament. States do not have any right over there. Okay, state can pass the resolution if they want to change their name, or if they want to change their area, or if two or more states, or the like two states or two or more states are thinking of trying to merge themselves, then they can go to parliament, they can pass the resolution and they can ask parliament to pass a law to merge them. Are you getting my point? They on their own cannot do it. It is the parliament which can redraw the political map of the country. This is the line exactly you need to remember. The parliament can redraw the political map of country. Okay, on the other hand we can say one more thing. India or Indian polity is considered as India is a union of states. India is a union of states, but states cannot secede away. Keep in mind. Are you getting my point? India is considered as a federal polity, but India is not fully federal. India is neither fully unitary. The United Kingdom system, the British system, is the fully unitary system. In unitary system means there is only one center of power. On the other hand, when we talk about more than one center of power, that is called federalism. India have more than one center of power, but there are some other attributes of federalism which India don't have. Okay, so when we talk about fully federal system, it is the United States of America. When we talk about fully unitary system, it is the British system. India is an amalgamation of both. India took some characteristics of unitary and some characteristics of the federalism. That's why India is considered quasi-federal sometimes. That is quasi-federal. Now in the federalism we know that states can secede away. Means in the United States of America there are 50 states. There are 50 states. There is a central government, there is a state government also. Now if any of the 50 members want to secede away from that union, because USA have 50 states, if any of the state, for example California is one of the state, if California is thinking of going out of this particular system of this federation, it can go out. This is the called seceding away. But in India the states on their end cannot secede away. Are you getting my point? In India they cannot secede away. Are you getting my point? That's the thing. This is the difference between the unitary and the federal. Now come again. Now this is the thing we were discussing. At the time of independence, India was divided into 4 parts. Indian territories were divided into 4 parts. The first part was the governors' provinces. Governors' provinces. First part was governors' provinces, means in India there were some areas which were directly ruled by the governor, which were appointed by the Britishers. Okay, obviously. So there were some areas which were directly coming under the control of governor. Those areas were governors' provinces. Okay. After that there was part B. These are parts. These are parts. Part A, part B. What is part B? In part B there were chief commissioner provinces. Sorry, in part B there were princely states. There were princely states. Princely states means there were so many states जहाँ पे राजे रजवाड़े चल रहे थे. So those were part of that Indian Union part B. They were coming under part B. Then comes the part C. In part C there were chief commissioner provinces. Chief commissioner provinces. There were some areas where commissionerate has been established by Britishers. Okay. So apart from governors' provinces, there were princely states, and apart from princely states there were chief commissioners provinces. And the D was, in D there were kind of central, they were also coming under the directly control of the central government. Okay, or you can say the viceroy. And in D part there were Andaman and Nicobar, only Andaman and Nicobar. Okay, so at the time of independence India was divided into these 4 parts. Okay, now in the part A, in the governor's province, there was one province that is called Assam. That is called Assam. Okay, so Assam was nothing but a governor's province. Got it? So after independence, the onus of reorganization of states was on the parliament, or you can say the provisional parliament, that is the constituent assembly. Okay, because constituent assembly was working in two domains. They were also making constitution on the one hand, on the other hand they were also making law. Okay. So Assam was part of the governor's province. Now after independence, the state reorganization happened. After independence, state reorganization happened, and in that reorganization, what happened? This Assam was divided into these 7 states. Gradually, not at a single point of juncture. Gradually, it was divided into these 7 sisters. Okay. Now, what is the problem? Problem is that this particular region, which comprises of these 7 sisters or 7 states or the Assam, this particular region is habitated by the people who have more kind of ethnic similarity with the Burmese people, Burmese Bhutanese people, or the Southeast Asian people rather than the South Asian people. Are you getting my point? Means this area was inhabited by people which have different ethnicity than the people who are residing in this area. Are you getting my point? Now this is the very big reason, this is the very crucial reason to understand the Northeast insurgency. The ethnicity is the primary problem, because the people who were residing in this area have ethnical similarity with the Burmese people or Bhutanese people or the Southeast Asian countries, for example, Myanmar, Vietnam, Laos, Thailand. Okay, the ethnicity were similar to that rather than the rest of the India. Are you getting my point? So first problem was ethnically there was differences. Now within this region there were so many ethnicities. There were diversity also. Not a single ethnicity. There were difference in the culture of the people. There were numerous tribes who were residing in these areas. Numerous tribes. Now the tribal people have their distinct culture. X tribe have their distinct culture, their own language, their way of living. They can be matriarchal, patriarchal. They have their own culture. Why tribal have their own culture? They all have their distinctive cultures. Now, while reorganizing, the government should have taken into consideration this ethnic equation. It is very, very imperative. The government should have taken into consideration, or the parliament should have taken into consideration, the ethnic composition of these areas, and they must have done that in such a manner that particular ethnicity should get equitable representation in a particular area. They should have taken this into consideration. But on this particular front, the parliament or the legislative body lagged. Okay, so they did the reorganization in these 7 sister states, but ultimately the reorganization happened in such a manner that there were a continuous conflict between the tribes. The political reorganization of this particular area was not judicious, you can say, when we talk about in the backdrop of the ethnicity of the people. Got it? This is the reason that after the reorganization there was a continuous conflict even within the state. For example, we will talk about Nagaland. The Nagaland was divided. This is the area of Nagaland. Now Nagaland was divided in such a way that some Naga people are in this state, some Naga people are in the neighborhood state in Manipur, some are part of the Assam, some are part of the Arunachal Pradesh, and this is Nagaland. There is a trouble. You know that here we have Nagaland, okay, here we have Assam, here we have Arunachal Pradesh, okay, and here we have Manipur, here we have Mizoram, and here we have Tripura. This is the map. You need to remember this map, at least India's map. So some Naga people became part of the Assam, some Naga people part of Arunachal Pradesh, some Naga people part of the Manipur, and some are here. Now some other tribes which were part of exactly Manipur, some are here, some are here. Are you getting my point? So this was the biggest trouble, that reorganization was not in the ethical backdrop or ethical beliefs of the people. That's the bigger concern. So what was happening? If a particular tribe is in majority in the Nagaland, they will definitely have a upper say. That particular tribe is in minority in some other state, they will lack some representation and all these things there. Okay, So this happened in the northeastern region, and this is the biggest reason, one of the biggest reason of the insurgency in the northeast. What is insurgency? Insurgency means the armed revolt against the dispensation. Means they were not happy with their representation, and they generated the identity consciousness. You know, identity consciousness. You are generating the identity consciousness, means you are becoming more, you know, apprehensive of your identity, that your identity might lost in future if the majority will dominate over minority, because you are in minority. So the identity consciousness generated among the tribes in the northeast, and there were both people, there were tribes and non-tribes, there were tribes and non-tribes. Okay, now this is the one concern of northeast insurgency. What is the second concern? Second is that to give a special treatment to the tribes, the government came up with, the parliament came up with two schedules, that is schedule 5 and schedule 6. These were two schedules which were, you know, which were added to the Constitution of India after independence while making the constitution, and this was just to give special representation, special provisions to take care of the tribes, because they were indigenous people, you were supposed to take care of them, they have distinctive culture. Okay, and the distinctive culture is somewhere, you can say, in minority as compared to the rest of India, because rest of India have more or less same ethnicity, but the northeastern region have different ethnicity, so you need to take care of them. Now it doesn't say that, it doesn't mean that only northeast region comprises of tribes. No, in rest of India there were tribes also. In Chhattisgarh have so many tribes, there were so many other tribes which were living in the other states also. So all over there were tribes. So tribes you know, need to be fulfilled from the government front. Okay, and they need to be protected. That's why they came up with the schedule 5 and schedule 6. Okay sir. Now schedule 5, schedule 5. Now schedule 5 is for tribes, schedule 5 is for tribes, schedule 6 is also for tribes. Okay, but schedule 5 is for tribes which are relatively, which are as compared to the parts which were comprises in the schedule 6. In the schedule 5 part, there were tribes which added, which were not, you know, very much isolated. Are you getting my point? They have a little bit interaction with the rest of the society. Okay, and in schedule 6 they added the areas in which tribes have a very much distinctive culture, and they are not very much mainstreamed. Okay, they are very much isolated, they were not part of the mainstream society. Okay, so it is the gravity, it is the gravity of their isolation, on the basis of which the government made some areas part of 6, and some areas became part of schedule 5, and some are becoming part of schedule 6. Okay, it is the gravity of their isolation and their mainstreaming with the society. In schedule 5 there were 9 states, there were 9 states. Chhattisgarh is one of them, Madhya Pradesh is one of them, Rajasthan is one of them. Okay, Odisha is also there, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh is also there. There were 9 states where the tribal population is there, there are tribal packets, and special provision from them, special provision from them were part of schedule 5. Now in schedule 6 they added 4 states, they added 4 states in schedule 6, that is Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. These are 4 states. These 4 states are part of schedule 6, and they have again special provisions, but these special provisions are, you know, more in terms of government efforts as compared to the schedule 5. More autonomy has been given in the under schedule 6, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Now did you get this point? Now the second bone of contention, the first is the political reorganization was not on the ethical backdrop. This is the first concern, that's why there is a continuous identity consciousness among the tribes. Now what is the second concern? Second concern is that you gave schedule 5 and schedule 6 to the constitution. Now schedule 5 there are 9 states, in schedule 6 you have 4 states. In these 4 states there are tribes plus non-tribes, both are available. The state is not, you know, fully have only population, exclusive population of tribes. No, there are non-tribes also there. Now, tribal people are getting special treatment in these 4 states under Schedule 6. Okay. In Schedule 6, they are giving the Autonomous District Council. We will discuss about it. What is Autonomous District Council? It is important topic. In Schedule 6, they have given autonomy to these states or the areas which are dwelled by or resided by the tribal people. Okay. For example, this is the Assam state. Now the whole Assam state is not coming under Schedule 6, let me tell you. Okay. Are you getting my point? The point is there are some tribal pockets which are part of Schedule 6. Okay. Although the whole Assam is under Schedule 6, but still that's not the case. The case is that part of the states which have majority of tribes will become part of Schedule 6. Okay. Now the special treatment is given to tribes and the non-tribes which are also backward people, but they are not tribes. Now they are feeling again, deprived of something. Are you getting my point? If you are giving good treatment to person who is residing just along with you, adjacent to your colony, and those people are given special treatment and not you, then definitely there would be a resentment among them. So there is a continuous chaos, there is a continuous tussle between the tribes and non-tribes. Okay, this is the second concern. So Schedule 5 and Schedule 6 are good or the bliss for the tribal. Definitely they are given autonomy, but somewhere this is also a problematic point when you talk about the societal chaos in the northeastern region. So these are two big reasons. There is a continuous chaos between the tribal and the non-tribal population, and there is a continuous tendency to secede away from the union. Are you getting my point? Means the people in the northeastern areas, they were not happy with the dispensation because they were not mainstreamed. They were continuously facing the violent activities around them. Okay. And some other special provisions to ensure security was implemented by Government of India. For example, AFSPA. Have you heard about it? Armed Force Special Power Act. This Armed Force Special Power Act is implemented to the northeastern regions, also in the Kashmir. Now AFSPA is what? Armed Force Special Power Act. In this, the armed forces which the union government is going to deploy there, they will, or the armed forces can be the army or the paramilitary also. Paramilitary, paramilitary, the Central Armed Police Forces. These paramilitary will get special treatment. This paramilitary will have a special privilege. There are normal circumstances in which they work, but under AFSPA they were given more powers. Okay, and sometimes this more power is misused by armed forces. It is alleged. It is alleged by the localites. It is alleged by the tribal population. Why the AFSPA implemented in these areas? Because there were so many insurgency groups. There were small insurgency groups who were continuously creating ruckus, okay, and disturbing the social harmony, and they were continuously sloganeering against the state government as well as the union government. And they also made the groups and trying to create awareness and trying to indoctrinate people to just secede away from the union. Means they want their separate country or they want a separate state. Are you getting my point? But they are resorting to violence. They are resorting to violence, and this is the biggest concern, violence. That's why the government implemented AFSPA, so that those paramilitary forces will have special power to search the houses without the permit, without the what you say, without the warrant. Okay, they can investigate the people, they can investigate the houses of the people without the warrant of the magistrate. Usually we need warrant in general cases. Okay, so there are some special powers which are provided under the AFSPA, and there are so many revolt insurgency groups. Did you get it? Now, what are insurgency groups demanding? They are demanding either a separate state or a separate country altogether. Got it? You got my point? This is the thing which is the current scenario of the northeastern region. Should we go forward? This is the background. Now, what's the Dima Hasao Peace Pact? Dima Hasao is a district in Assam. And in Dima Hasao in 2019, a liberation army. A liberation army was made by a group of people. And what they were expecting? They wanted to liberate their particular district. They wanted to liberate their particular district. Okay, they don't want to be part of the Union of India or the state government altogether. They want to separate. They want more autonomy. That was Dima Hasao Liberation Army. Yeah, Dima National Liberation Army. Got it, sir? Or Dimasa National Liberation Army. So this is the Dima Hasao district. When you look into the map, this is Assam. This is Meghalaya. This is Assam. Okay. This is Assam. This is Nagaland. So in Assam, what we have, this part is the Dima Hasao district. Did you get my point? Okay, next. What is next? The point is, Dima Hasao, this Dima National Liberation Army were struggling since 2019. Okay, the aim of them was to seek it away, more autonomy. So they were violent group, and they were in the confrontation with the forces there and also with the other groups. So they were disturbing the harmony. Recently what happened, this particular group decided to surrender. Okay, this group decided to surrender. So there an peace agreement took place between this particular group, state government and the center. So there are three parties. First is that liberation army, second is the central government, and third is the state government. So an agreement happened that this particular group is saying that we will no more ask for anything. We are surrendering. We are leaving all our armed related or the force related work and all that thing. So they surrendered in front of government. Okay, so this happened. That's why we understood this all. So Assam based insurgent group have signed a peace agreement with the state government and the central government. Now what is important point? Dimasa National Liberation Army or Dimasa People's Supreme Council, which operates in Dima Hasao district. This is Dima Hasao district. Now complete end to insurgency. In the agreement they said we are going to completely end the insurgency. No more armed group in Assam. Now there were previously some more armed groups, but all armed groups either they surrendered or they vanished. So ultimately in Assam region there are no more armed groups. Okay, Assam is free of the this armed groups. There are people who are continuously who have their agenda, who are asking for some more autonomy or some separate state also. But if they are, as long as they are not resorting to violence or not talking about to break the integrity of the country, they will not be considered as a criminal or something like that. You can ask for it. But if you are asking in such a way that integrity of the union, integrity of the country is at stake, then you will be booked under some of the UAPA provision, Unlawful Activity Prevention Act provision, that is preventive detention. Okay, so there is possibility, but there is no more armed groups. Okay, armed groups are vanished. Civil groups are there. Agreed to give up the violence, surrender of arms and ammunition, vacate all the camps. All these things they are doing. More than 168 armed cadre of DNLS surrendered. Okay, Dimasa National Liberation Army, almost 168 armed cadres. 168 armed cadres means there are 168 troops. Okay. Now Dimasa Welfare Council. Now what this agreement is saying? Now first we need to understand. Very important thing. Important thing is under the Schedule 6. Under Schedule 6. Under the Schedule 6, there is a provision. That Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. There are 4 states. Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. These 4 states will have a special treatment, a special provision under Schedule 6. And this special provisions talk about a very crucial body that is called Autonomous Council. This is the thing we need to understand. Autonomous Council, sometimes referred as Autonomous District Council also. Okay. Now Autonomous Council means there will be a body which will regulate or take care of the people who are coming under their jurisdiction. This is what they need to do. Now what is Autonomous District Council? Understand this. This whole state of Assam and these remaining 3, the area or the packets of people where the tribes are dwelling, that particular area will be classified as autonomous district, For example, this Assam is divided into three autonomous districts. How many? Three. There are three autonomous district councils in Assam. Not autonomous districts. There are three autonomous district councils in Assam. Are you getting my point? So this whole Assam is divided, have three autonomous district council. What the autonomous district council do? The governor of state have the right to decide that this particular region should become autonomous district. Okay, not the the whole state is not classified under the autonomous district. Okay, although Assam is divided into three autonomous districts, the whole state. So there are three autonomous district councils. How many? Three autonomous district councils. Now, remaining the Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. The Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram also have their own autonomous district councils. Now, autonomous district councils are really very important because they are very crucial in the governance of these areas. Okay. One autonomous district council comprises of 30 members. How many? 30 members. Out of these 30, 26 members are elected by the people of that particular region, and 4 will be nominated by the governor. Every autonomous district council will have 30 members, 26 will be elected by people, and 4 members will be nominated by governor. The governor can change the area of any autonomous district. Governor can increase area or governor can decrease area. Okay. There is a possibility that this particular autonomous district have this much area. Okay. Now, governor have right that if there is a village, governor have right to include this area in this autonomous district council. It is the governor of the state who have right. Okay. Keep in mind, means governor is a very powerful body when we talk about autonomous district councils. Okay. Governor can change it, governor can reduce it also. Governor can remove this area from the autonomous district council. You get my point? And what autonomous district councils do? They do the work for the governance. And governance, we know, governance have three things. Governance means they will have law making, legislature, the execution and the judiciary. Means autonomous district council have power of legislating, they have power to execute, and they also have judicial powers. Although their judicial powers comes under the jurisdiction of the High Court. Okay, are you getting my point? So legislature, executive and the judicial powers, who have these all powers? Autonomous district council. Assam have 3 autonomous district council. Assam have 3 autonomous district councils. The remaining can also have. So only 4 states have autonomous district councils. Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram under Schedule 6. Schedule 5 don't have provision for these district councils. Only Schedule 6 have provision of this. Now, Assam is divided into 3 autonomous district councils. Okay, that's the thing. Now, what is more about the autonomous district councils? Yes, most important thing. No act of parliament is automatically implemented in these areas. Are you getting my point? If parliament is passing an act, usually what happens? If parliament is passing an act, this is applicable in whole India. But if parliament is passing an act, this will not be automatically implemented in these regions. It will depend on the discretion of the autonomous district council whether that particular act should be implemented in this particular district or not. Okay, this is the big thing. This is a big thing, means they have this much autonomy that they can defy an act of parliament. Okay, that's the thing. Same with the state act also. If the state is passing an act, whether that would be implemented in this area or not, it is the discretion of the autonomous district council. Got it, sir? This is very important, you need to keep in mind. So this is about the autonomous district council. Should we go forward? Okay. Now what is next? Next thing is, this pact happened, this agreement happened. Now, Dimasa Welfare Council. Now, Dimasa Welfare Council is altogether different body. My point is, Assam is divided into 3 autonomous councils under the Schedule 6, but there are provisions under the State Act also. Understand this? Don't get confused. There are provisions under the State Act also that the state government can also make councils. The state government can also make council. State have their own right. They can make the council for the welfare of the people. They can do it. Assam have 3 autonomous district council under Schedule 6, and Assam have 6 welfare councils under the State Act. Okay. Assam have 3 autonomous district councils under Schedule 6. These are constitutional bodies because mentioned in the constitution, and Assam have 6 welfare councils which are made under the Assam Government Act. Okay. State Act, they can make it. These are state level bodies. Okay. This is mentioned under Schedule 6. Now, this agreement, this autonomous council, you can read it here. Additional information we have added. This autonomous council, Dima Hasao already have autonomous council. Dima Hasao already have autonomous council. Out of 3, 1 is Dima Hasao itself. 1 is Dima Hasao. There are 3 councils, na? 1 itself is the Dima Hasao autonomous district council. The other name is the North Kachar Hill Autonomous Council. This is the other name of the Dima Hasao Autonomous Council. Out of 3, this is 1. Okay. And the other name is the North Kachar Hills Autonomous Council. Both are same. Both are same. Okay. Now this this council is already there, sir. This council is already there, autonomous council. But in the new act, the government said, state government said, we will make one more council, Dimasa Welfare Council. Okay, Dimasa Welfare Council. Under a state act, 6 councils are already there in Assam. Okay, under a state act, 6 councils are already there in Assam, and we are making the 7th, that is Dimasa Welfare Council, and this is under the state act. This is not under Schedule 6. Okay. Now, one more thing which you must keep in mind, especially those who are appearing this year for exam. Schedule 6 is particularly very important. Okay, you can go to your home, read the Schedule 5 and Schedule 6 in detail, especially Schedule 6. Especially Schedule 6. There is a possibility that UPSC might ask question, and so, nowadays they ask question with a very depth of that particular topic. So Schedule 6 can be the thing which may come. Now what is the point? Next point is the under Schedule 6 in the paragraph 14 there is a provision. There is a provision that a commission can be made. To recommend to add the peripheral areas into the autonomous district council, although it's a prerogative of governor. But a commission can be made which will investigate the need or the demands of the nearby people who are not part of this autonomous district council, but they wanted to become part of this. Okay, so a commission can be made, that is under the paragraph 14. And now, what happened? This agreement invoked this provision and said the commission will be formed. Got it? Commission will be formed. Under this agreement, they have decided all 3: the Liberation Army, the state, and the center. The agreement happened. So first outcome of the agreement is that they said we are leaving all the rebellion activities. Armed revolt will no more be there. First thing. Second is the state government said we will make a Dimasa Welfare Council under the State Act, not under Schedule 6. Schedule 6 we are not invoking. Okay. What was the third outcome? Third outcome is the MOU, means the Memorandum of Understanding. Memorandum of Understanding, nothing but an agreement. And when you are agree on something, you sign the MOU. So third thing is that paragraph 14 of the 6th schedule. Paragraph 14 of the 6th schedule. There is a provision that a commission can be made to investigate the demands of the people of surrounding areas. Okay. So MOU provide for the appointment of a commission under paragraph 14 of schedule to constitute to the Constitution of India to examine the demand for the inclusion of additional villages contiguous to the North Kachar Hill Autonomous District Council. We discussed it. For example, this is the district council, this is the district council, this is the district council. Only these areas are there. Now there is another village, another village. Now this village is also asking for the membership of this autonomous council. Now it is the prerogative of the governor. Governor will do it on his own. But there is a provision under the schedule 6 schedule, paragraph 14, that a commission can be made. A commission can be made to investigate the demands of the other villages for the inclusion in the autonomous district council. Are you getting my point? This is mentioned under the 6th schedule, means it is a constitutional provision. It is a constitutional provision, and they invoked this provision and they decided in the agreement that they will make a commission. They will make a commission to investigate, so that the nearby areas which wanted to become part of the autonomous district council, their grievances will be taken care of. Okay. This is under schedule 6. Okay, it will be made by the central government. Okay. So that's the thing. It also provides for necessary measures to rehabilitation and surrendering armed cadres. Definitely, there are people who were previously engaged in the armed revolt. Now they wanted to become part of the mainstream. What they will do in the mainstream? You need to rehabilitate them. You need to empower them. You need to provide them skills so that they will be effectively engaged in the economic activities. Okay. So they also discussed about the necessary measures will be taken by the central and the state government, both for the rehabilitation and the rehabilitation. Rehabilitation means livelihood. Okay. If you don't provide them livelihood, they will again, over the period of time, again they will indulge in something which is unlawful. Okay. DNLS was established in 2019, seeking a sovereign territory of the Dimasa tribal. We discussed in 2019 it was made. Dimasa tribe is the ethno-linguistic community. Now what is ethno-linguistic community? Ethno-linguistic means ethnic and linguistic. Means on the basis of their language is one of the major element on the basis of which they are classified and distinctive from the rest of the population. So ethno-linguistic, they have ethno-linguistic community. Now a group of people with a distinct language and culture that gives them a unique identity, that is the ethno-linguistic community. So Dimasa tribes are the ethno-linguistic community. Okay sir. Inhabiting in Assam and Nagaland, they live in 2 areas. They usually don't ask such questions in which areas they used to live. Okay. Sometimes they do ask. Sometimes they do ask, but you just no need to mug up. You cannot mug up all the tribes where they live. There are so many tribes. What is next? Dimasa is the Tibeto-Burman language. We discussed it. We discussed it. The language is the Tibeto-Burman language. Usually Indo-European and other languages we used to speak. Here we have Tibeto-Burman language. Language is different. The community is fairly homogeneous. What is the meaning of homogeneous? What is the meaning of homogeneous? Homogeneous means similar social setting and culture. They have a more or less similar setting in that particular community. Exclusive means outside interaction is limited. They are exclusive. Exclusive means they do not allow other people to become amalgamate with them. Okay. Especially culturally. Especially culturally means the marriages do not take place between the tribes and the non-tribes. Although with all the tribes there is a very much conservative aspect of their culture, especially with the marriages and all these things. They follow they follow the customs with very deep rooted belief. Okay, it happens. They are very much you can say orthodox with their belief system. So homogeneous and exclusive. Sealed society, definitely sealed society means outside interaction is limited. Okay. Every member drawing his or her patriarchal lineage from one of the 42 male clans. Every member draw his patriarchal lineage and matriarchal lineage. There are 2 lineages, patriarchal and matriarchal. Means they are taking lineage from both sides. This is very important. When we talk about general the majority societies in India, the majority societies in India is still following the patriarchy. Means we are following the patriarchal lineage. Are you getting my point? Patriarchal lineage means ultimately what is happening? Ultimately, the girl is getting married and going to the home of a boy. Are you getting my point? The boy is not coming to their home. If boy leave their home and just started living with the parents of a girl, and this will become a custom that is called the matrilineal society. That is matrilineal. We are living in the patrilineal society. Patrilineal and matrilineal. In tribes, there are both patrilineal and the matrilineal societies, and there are some which are following both. And Dimasa tribes is one of the tribes which are following both. Means patrilineal lineage is also there and the matrilineal lineage is also there. Okay, so you can every member drawing his or her patriarchal lineage from one of the 42 male clans. There are 42 male clans and 42 female clans. Okay, 42 male and 42 female. There are so many tribes, let me tell you. We are studying about the Dimasa tribes because they are in news. Okay, we cannot read every tribe in detail because they have their own customs. So Dimasa has seal society, and patriarchal lineage and the matriarchal lineage both are there. Patriarchal lineage 42 male clans is सिफोंग. इसको रुक जाओ, इसको क्या प्रोनाउंसिएशन होगा? सेंगफोंग. ओके, सेंगफोंग. Sangfong. Sangfong is the correct pronunciation. It's difficult for us also. Holder of the sword. Holder of the sword. Snackfong is the male clans को infer किया जाता है, और जलिक और जुलू जो है वो female clans के लिए refer किया जाता है. These clans are distributed among 12 territorial sacred groves called daikhos. This is important. Daikhos is a kind of sacred grove. What are sacred groves? Sacred means it is somewhere have sanctity with the religion or with God or with deity. Every tribe have their own deities. They have their deities. Deity means उनके देवता. ठीक है. Now, if there is a forest and the deity is situated in between the forest, then the tribes consider the surrounding forest region or the flora or fauna of that particular region as sacred, because they have some affiliation with their deity, to whom they revere. Are you getting my point? So that is called sacred groves. In India, there are so many sacred groves. So tracts of forest which are regenerated around the places of worship. Okay, places of worship are usually temples. So that's the sacred groves. This is the thing. Sealed society and all these detail you can read. The daikhos they consider as daikhos. So 12 territorial regions, 42 male clans and 42 female clans. Tengfong you can you can remember. Now Dimasa is one of the oldest inhabited northeastern part, many of the Kachari tribes. Now the bigger head of the Dimasa tribes, means there are so many tribes. Okay, Dimasa tribes comes under the Kachari tribes. That is the bigger head. Now what are these tribes? Read it. Bodo Kachari is one of the classification of the tribes. Bodo Kachari. Okay. Bodo, Bodo region. Bodo region is in Assam. The northern region of Assam is called the Bodo region. Bodo people lives there. They were also asking for their own Bodoland. Bodoland issues also prevalent few years back. So Kachari, Bodo Kachari. Now these people aren't culturally uniform. They are not culturally uniform. Means Bodo Kachari is one of the classification, one of the head. Below that there are so many tribes comes under the ambit of the Bodo Kachari. They have variety of customs. So these people aren't culturally uniform. Bodo, Deori, Tripuri, Riang follow patrilineal descent. Now this is important. These Bodo, Deori, Tripuri and the Riang follow patrilineal descent. Patrilineal descent means the girl would marry boy and will go to the boy's house, and the surname of the upcoming children will follow the father's surname. Okay, that is the patrilineal. Garo, Rabha, Koch follow matrilineal descent. Means there are tribes in India which follow the matrilineal descent. Means the women decide what will happen. Okay, and the men would marry women and will go to girl's house. Okay, it happens in so many tribes. So which are the matrilineal descent tribes? Matrilineal societies in India. The very biggest, very prominent matrilineal society in India is the Garo and Khasi also. Garo and Khasi in the Meghalaya Jayantia Hills. Jayantia Hills, Garo Hills, Khasi Hills are there. There in geography you will read about it. Garo, Khasi, Jayantia, all three continuous hills. So Garo and but Khasi is not part of Bodo Khasi, that's why not written here. But there are two important matrilineal society you can keep in mind. There are two matrilineal societies in India, the Garo and the Khasi, and they are in Meghalaya. Okay, Garo and Khasi. So we have both patrilineal and the matrilineal societies. Now Dimasa follows both bilateral descents and Tiva follows ambilineal descent. Are you getting my point? Means in Dimasa we are following both bilateral. Both bilateral means patrilineal also and the matrilineal also. We are following both at the same time. In Tiva we follow the ambilineal. Ambilineal means whichever you want. You can decide patrilineal or you can decide matrilineal. Okay, sir. So that's the thing. Means it is a type of descents which we are following. So why Dimasa is particularly important? This is the tribe which follow the bilateral descent. That's why Dimasa would be important. Okay. So that's the thing. Okay. I think it's a good issue. This might be asked. Must keep in mind the Northeast insurgency. I think we discussed the Northeast insurgency also with this. So what is next? NDPS. NDPS. This is also particularly important, sir, from the prelims point of view. NDPS. Narcotic, drug and psychotropic substances. Narcotic, drug and psychotropic substances. Don't worry, this is already written in this PDF. Now what's the thing? NDPS. Narcotic drugs. You know what are the narcotic drugs? Why this news? First discuss this. Why this news? You know, narcotic and the psychotropic. First, what are the psychotropics? Psychotropic. This person is psycho. We say this person is psycho. Psycho means we consider that this person is mentally retarded. That's why we say this is psycho person. Okay, mentally retarded. Mentally means directly related with your brain. Okay, so psychotropic is nothing but activities affiliated with your brain. Now psychotropic means activity affiliated with your brain, and psychotropic substances means we are consuming some things which is ultimately altering activities of our brain. Okay, it can stimulate the activity, it can reduce the activity level. Are you getting my point? It can increase or it can decrease the activity level of our brain. So psychotropic substances are those substances which alter the activities of your brain. It can increase or reduce the activity level in your brain. Okay, psychotropic substances have so many uses in the medication purposes. In medical purposes we need it. Okay, we know that the neuron system is important. The neuron system we know. Okay, the pain we have or we feel, the pain we feel is ultimately because of our neuron system, because of our neuron system only. Okay. So if we can control the neuron system, we can control the neuron system or the nervous system, sorry. If we can control our nervous system, we can control the level of pain which we are going to feel. Okay, so in medications, in the pain relievers, we use psychotropic substances. Psychotropic substances, when we use painkillers do not exactly hit the area where you have pain. They exactly hit your neuron system, nervous system. Are you getting my point? They don't hit the area where you have pain or you have some bounded area. No, they hit your nervous system. Okay, and they reduce the activity in such a way that you don't feel the pain. Pain is there. Okay, they are not treating the pain exactly. They are just manipulating your nervous system so that you don't feel the pain. Magical. Now what is the point? Psychotropic substances are important They can be used in the medical area. Okay, definitely. So we need to explore psychotropic substances. There is nothing wrong with this, but they can be misused, and they are highly misused. When we talk about the illegal psychotropic substances, that is called narcotics. Okay, what are narcotic drugs? Narcotic drugs are drugs which are illegal. Both are almost same terms. Psychotropic substances are the alter the brain activities. Those substances will be definitely regulated by the government or the any dispensation. If irregular or the illegal psychotropic substances are there, that is nothing but the narcotic. Okay, this is the difference. The psychotropic and narcotic, you got it. Now narcotic substances are problem for us. Psychotropic per se is not a problem. Okay, because psychotropics have so many uses also, but narcotics means there is an illegal web of psychotropic substances which is dangerous for us. That is called drug smuggling. You know, we discuss about drug smuggling. So psychotropic substances, every country have their own state own central legislation to regulate the psychotropic substances. India also have, and India's act is the NDPS Act, Narcotic Drug and Psychotropic Substances Act. India have NDPS Act. We'll discuss about this act. Why this news came? This news came because most important thing which we need to understand, why India have a biggest concern in the in field of narcotics. What is the concern? The concern is that when we look at the map of India, this is India. Okay, I am generally making it na. Northeast is there. This is just for understanding. Okay. So when we talk about India, India is surrounded by Pakistan. Pakistan have Afghanistan, and then have Iran. Okay. When we go in the southeastern region, we will have Myanmar, we will have Thailand, and we will have Laos. Okay, we have three countries: Myanmar, Thailand, and Laos, and we have Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Pakistan have bordering India. Borders are porous, means people can come there, intrude. They can intrude into India. With Myanmar, we have so much porous border: Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura. Okay, Arunachal Pradesh also. All countries have, all these states have a boundary with the Myanmar. So we have porous borders, means the intrusion can also happen. Now problem is Thailand, Afghanistan. Afghanistan is the world's #1 producer of the opium, Afim. Afghanistan is the largest producer in the world, and the second largest opium producing region is this. So India is surrounded by two regions. We are largest opium producing region. Number 1 is this, number 2 is this. Okay. Now what is the problem? Opium is a raw material for so many psychotropic substances. Okay. Opium is a psychotropic substance, and ultimately there are so many other substances which are made from the opium. Okay, sir. And there is a continuous intrusion or the smuggling of the psychotropic substances to India. Okay. That's the concern for India, because Indian youth is continuously coming in the facing the wrath of this spread of psychotropic substances. This is dangerous, sir. This is a concern for India, because we are surrounded by the two most opium producing regions. This is called as Golden Crescent. Golden Crescent, and this region is called as Golden Triangle. India is surrounded by Golden Crescent and the Golden Triangle. Golden Crescent and the Golden Triangle. Got it, sir? This is the concern. Now one more thing. What can you do to control the drug menace? What can you do? First, you will try to prevent it. You will try to prevent it. You prohibit it. Now prevention and prohibition will take place to break the supply chain, to break the supply chain, and supply chain will be ultimately taken care by the law enforcement agencies. There would be law enforcement agencies which will take care of the supply chain. Okay, like from where first at the border, then border to the other supply chain. Okay, ultimately that is reaching to Tamil Nadu, ultimately it is reaching to Andhra Pradesh, means somewhere there is a supply chain. This supply chain will be taken care by the law enforcement agencies. India have a law enforcement agency, Narcotic Control Bureau, NCB. India have law enforcement agency that is called NCB, Narcotic Control Bureau, which comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay. Now what is the second thing? Second thing is, what will you do with those people who are already addicted? Who are already addicted? You cannot kill them all. Okay, you cannot kill them. Now problem with India is that consumption of narcotic drugs in India is illegal. Okay, so if you are already consuming it, it is very difficult for the government to just capture you and put you in the de-addiction center or rehabilitation center. Are you getting my point? Because when they will catch you, rather than putting you in the rehabilitation or the de-addiction center, they will put you in the jail because you committed the crime. Okay, that's why there is a reluctance on the side of the addicted people. Although there is a definitely natural reluctance, addicted person will not come to government and say rehabilitate me, de-addict me. No, they won't do it. But there are family around them, there are people around them who will definitely think of it. But they will also not come up. Why? Because if you will say that my child is addicted of something, they will put your child in the jail because it's an illegal activity. That's why the reluctance from the parental side also. So what government is mooting, what government is thinking? Government is thinking of decriminalizing the consumption. Rather than criminalizing the consumption, we will try to control this supply chain, and when we will control the supply chain or we will demolish this supply chain, then automatically the new consumers will not become part of that. New consumer will not be added, and those who have already consumed it and becoming addictive, we will make rehabilitation and de-addiction center for them. Okay, this is what government is thinking. This is the news all about. Government is thinking of decriminalizing the narcotic drugs consumption. Government is thinking of decriminalizing. Okay, thinking of. Got it, sir? Should we go forward? Okay. So government likely to ask addicts to submit for rehabilitation to avoid jail time. So initially they were thinking of reducing the jail time. If there is a 2-year jail term, they will say if you are voluntarily coming to us, we will reduce your jail term to 1 year or 6 months or 2 months. If you voluntarily come to us, and if we will catch you, you will have to face the same jail term. Okay. So government likely to ask addicts to submit for rehabilitation to avoid jail time. They can avoid the jail term also overall. As Union government debates decriminalizing consumption of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. Debates, they are debating to decriminalize consumption of these drugs. Now what are narcotic drugs? Illegal, first, what are the psychotropic substances? Psychotropics are a drug substance that affects how the brain works and causes change in the mood, awareness, thoughts, feeling and behavior. If your brain, they alter the functioning of your brain, they will definitely affect your mood, awareness, thoughts, feelings, behavior. How will you behave? Okay, after the alcohol is a psychotropic substance. After consuming alcohol, the one behaves in different manner. We know it. Okay, the behavior is totally changed. And what are narcotic drugs? Narcotic drugs, illegal psychotropic substance used for non-medical purposes. Okay, we discussed it already. Will have to submit themselves before the treatment center. पहले से आके अपने आप को क्या करो, जमा कराओ वहाँ पे. In the past 2 years, the number of vulnerable districts for drug use have gone up from 272 to 372. This is very important concern. How many total districts India have? How many? Districts. 20 districts only. Total districts are 766 as of January 2014. India have 766 districts. Highest district 75 UP, lowest 02 Goa, and the Chandigarh have one district only, but that is UT. So Goa is the state which have only two districts. 766 are total number of districts India have. Now, what is the concern? The concern is the number of vulnerable districts for drug use have gone up from 272 to 372. There was 100 plus. Okay, addition of 100 districts in the vulnerable category. It means the use of drug have increased. More people are coming into fold of the illegal drug use. This is the concern for India, definitely concern for India. So previously they were 272, now to 372. This is the concern. There are some states which have 100% districts comes under the vulnerable category. 100% districts. Delhi has 7 districts. Delhi have 7 districts. All 7 are vulnerable districts under these 372. Jammu Kashmir, Rajasthan have 50 districts. Previously it had 31. The 19 new districts have been made last year. So now Rajasthan have 50 districts. So Rajasthan, all the districts. Rajasthan is bordering Pakistan. So illegal drugs menace is a bigger challenge for Rajasthan and Punjab, especially Udta Punjab. Have you heard about Udta Punjab? The movie called Udta Punjab on the drug menace also. है ना? पाउडर की लाइनों का रखेगा कौन हिसाब उड़ता पंजाब, है ना? पाउडर की लाइन क्या कोकेन ही तो है वो, है ना? अभी हम पढ़ेंगे उसके बारे में भी. Got it, sir? There's concern. Now, according to Substance Usage Survey, Justice Ministry, alcohol has emerged as the most used substance. Now, alcohol is also psychotropic substance. Alcohol is the most used. Means alcohol is easily accessible. It's a legal. Okay, it's a legal psychotropic substance. Now, if there is a illegal alcohol, that would come under the in the investigating category of the narcotic department. The legal, the licensed shops are there, legal shops are there. So alcohol is the psychotropic substance which is used most by the people. Nearly 17% of adult population in India use alcohol. Okay, means out of 100 adults, 17 people are consuming alcohol. 17, I think 17.1 is the prevalence among adults of alcohol. Alcohol is at the highest. Now, apart from this, survey showed the cannabis. You know cannabis? Cannabis is marijuana. You know marijuana? Weed, ganja. Yes. Cannabis is the another thing which is used by people. It comes as the second ring. Cannabis is the marijuana. Marijuana is a plant. Okay, marijuana is a plant. From marijuana, you can make the weed, that is ganja. Use had highest prevalence at 3.30. Marijuana or cannabis is illegal. Alcohol is legal. So in illegal category, the highest used is, or highest accessibility is with the cannabis or the weed. Highest prevalence 3.3, followed by the opioids. You know opioids? Opioids are nothing but the opium poppy plant. You know opium poppy plant? From opium poppy plant, there are so many psychotropic substances are made from this. We discussed it. Now, what are opioids? Opioids are narcotics, class of drug derived from the opium poppy plant. That opium poppy plant. They work in brain to produce variety of effects, including pain relief. Pain relief is the one of the thing. That's why you use in the medication for the anesthesia purpose. You know, anesthesia purpose. Before the operating, before operation, before any surgery, what doctor do? Doctor gives the anesthesia. Anesthesia means ultimately altering your brain activity. You will not feel the pain when they use the scissors. Okay, to cut your intestine. So including pain relief. Pain relief is the one of the things. So opioids is the class of drugs. Means there are so many drugs. Drugs which are derived from the opium will be called as opioids. Illegal drug heroin, fentanyl, oxycodone, hydrocodone, or the codeine or the morphines. These all are made from the. These are all part of the opioids. They made from the that opium plant. Got it, sir? So morphine. Have you heard about morphines? Morphines are also used in the anesthesia purposes. So these are the things. Fentanyl, oxycodone, hydrocodone, codeine. These are all heroin. Heroin heard in Hindi movies. Okay, है ना heroin, ganja heroin, heroin को गंजा करके चौराहे पे नचाने का वो कौन सा मूवी था एक हेरा फेरी है ना वैसा टाइप का तो वो वाली बात है. So these all things are opioids, sir. Opioids have 2.1% of prevalence. Means cannabis have more prevalence as compared to opioids. Now sedatives. Have you heard about sedatives? Sedatives are comes in so many legal medicines also. Okay. When you will take cetirizine, you will feel like very much sedative. बहुत नींद आती है. Cetirizine, levocetirizine खाओगे, montelukast खाओगे, नींद आएगी उसके बाद. क्यों आती नींद? Because it has some part of sedatives in them. Now, sedatives slow your brain's activity. You will feel relieved. After taking a cetirizine, you will not able to read. मतलब it would be difficult for you to read because you will feel a little bit sedative. That is not sedative. उतना नहीं है उसमें. उसमें थोड़ा सा है. वो तो दवाई के फॉर्म में. वो लीगल है ना. अब ये sedative है जो illegal है. So ultimately they slows your brain activity. Common types is a benzodiazepine, barbiturates. These are two common type sedatives which are used by the people. Okay. Uses treating anxiety, insomnia, anesthesia. Now anxiety, anxiety means the घबराहट जो आपको होती है, ठीक है, ये क्या होगा वो क्या होगा, यू बहुत ज़्यादा आपका जो हाइपरटेंशन हो जाता है आपको, यू कैन ट्रीट दिस. इंसोम्निया मीन्स मुझे नींद ना आए, मुझे चैन ना आए, कोई जाए जरा ढूंढ के लाए, तो उसको आप सेडेटिव्स देते हो, ठीक है. एनेस्थीसिया बिफोर द एनी ऑपरेशन यू यूज टू गिव एनेस्थीसिया. Atizolam is one of the sedative which is legally used and prescribed by the psychiatrist or psychologist, not psychologist, psychiatrist. Atizolam, clonazepam, and there are few more. These are the things which are discussed, which are prescribed. Sedatives, okay. Inhalants means you are going to inhale them. There are so many inhalants which are also narcotic drugs. Inhalants are volatile substances that produce chemical vapor that can be inhaled to induce a psychoactive or mind altering effect. You are inhaling them. You are ultimately inhaling them. वो पाउडर की लाइनों का रखेगा कौन, हिसाब वाला बात है ना. आपने देखा होगा कि जब ब्राउन शुगर को यूज कर रहे हैं या कोकेन को यूज कर रहे हैं तो उसमें आपने देखा होगा कि एक उसका मूवीज में दिखाते हैं, लाइन बना देते हैं, फिर उसको इनहेल कर लेते हैं, देखा होगा ना. वो एक्जैक्टली एक इनहेलेंट ही है, ठीक है, वो साइकोट्रोपिक है सर. तो इनहेलेंट्स बहुत कैटेगरी के आते हैं. कोकेन क्या होता है? कोकेन एक्जैक्टली अगर कोकेन को आप देखोगे ना, साउथ अमेरिकन ट्राइब्स, साउथ अमेरिका में ट्राइब्स थे जो कोका लीव्स, कोका एक ट्री होता है, उसकी लीव्स जो होती थी वो उसकी लीव्स को यूज करते थे. क्या करते थे? यूज करते थे कोका लीव्स को. बट व्हेन द साउथ अमेरिका, इट इज साउथ अमेरिका and South America is Latin America ultimately, and the Latin America was colonized by Spain. Majority of Latin America was colonized by Spain. So when in the mid 17th century when Spanish went there was a general custom among South American people to use coca leaves to regenerate themselves. But Spanish said no, this is psychotropic and this is illegal. So they went there and they saw some economic profit in that, and so they started extracting the cocaine from the coca leaves. Okay, so cocaine we derive from the coca leaves. This is not cacao, dhyan rakhna. Cacao is different. This is coca leaves. Psychotropic, this is South American tribes. Okay, this is relatively the cheaper things are available easily, accessible easily. Alcohol is relatively cheaper and accessible also. Availability is also there. That's why people are more exposed to this. Opioids are expensive, sedatives are expensive, inhalants are expensive, cocaine is more expensive. That's why less people are exposed to this, especially the privileged class use these kind of psychotropic substances. Okay sir, did you get it? Currently the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. Now what is the act in India? That is 1985. We have act in the 1985 sir. Now consumption of any narcotic drug, psychotropic substance may attract a jail term up to 1 year or fine up to 20,000. Okay, this is the current term. Government is thinking of decriminalizing it, of consumption. Now enforcement agencies targeting supply chain, definitely will target supply chain. Social Ministry Justice concurrently running countrywide awareness and rehabilitation. When you curtail the supply chain, then new supply would not be there, and this will be done by the Narcotic Control Bureau, law enforcement agency. On the other hand, those people who are already addicted need rehabilitation. This rehabilitation drive will be by the Ministry of Social Justice. Okay. Narcotic Control Bureau. Narcotic Control Bureau, it was constituted by the Government of India under 1986 under the Act Psychotropic Substance and the Narcotic Drug Act. Okay. Under this act, first Parliament passed this act. After this act, what government did? Government constituted the Narcotic Control Bureau. It is the apex coordinating agency under Ministry of Home Affairs. We discussed it. Ministry of Home Affairs. National policy on narcotic, drug and psychotropic substance is based on Article 47. Article 47 is the directive principle of state policy. Under what is that 47? That is which direct the state to endeavor to bring about prohibition of the consumption except for the medical purposes of intoxicating drugs injurious to health. This is directive principle. This is directive for the government. Okay. What they need to do? They need to stop or the prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drugs or intoxicating substances. Alcohol is also there. They need to prohibit it. That is under Article 47. Drug abuse control is the responsibility of the central government. Okay. This is not the responsibility of state government, although law enforcement is part of state government also. Okay, law and order. So they will work for it, no doubt, but ultimately it is responsibility of the central government. Okay. Decriminalization path, ineffective policy. Some scholars are saying that decriminalization will not work in India. Okay. Decriminalization will pave the way for the more consumption. Are you getting my point? For example, no detention policy. In India, we have no detention policy till class 10th. I think class 10th or class 8th. No detention policy means nobody will be failed. Fail nahi karte na kisi ko. In previous times, like 30 years, 20 years before today, there were no such policy. People were failed in class 4th, 5th also. Okay, I myself failed in so many times. Okay, it happens. The point is, no detention policy ultimately resulted in the deterioration of education quality because everybody was like, pass to ho jayenge, fail to kar hi nahi rahe, to bachche pad hi nahi rahe the. Adverse impact hua na. No detention policy was successful in the Western countries, but for Indian socio-economic or the social background, it was not very useful. Similarly, some scholars are saying that decriminalization is good for the Western countries, but for the society like India, decriminalization is not a good idea. Okay. Now, we have currently, if a minor is consuming some psychotropic drugs, the onus comes on the parents. Okay. Onus comes on the parents. What government is doing, Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan is already there. Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan started in 2021. Launched in 2021, it would focus on 272 most affected districts. Now there are 372 most affected because when this program started, this Abhiyan started, there were only 272. But now there are 100 added to 372. So what they do, this Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, focus on the most affected district, launch 3-pronged attack combining efforts of Narcotic Bureau. Narcotic Bureau will try to control the supply chain. Outreach awareness by social justice and treatment through the health department. Social justice, but what do? Awareness and outreach program. Okay. We have the de-addiction and all these things. Health department is important for the treatment purposes. De-addiction needs to have a line of treatment. So this is the thing. De-addiction facilities would be set up under this Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. There are scale up the network 508 rehabilitation de-addiction facilities 340 integrated cell. That's okay. You can read it. Now, what are these substances? We know that several medical, scientific, they have medical uses, but abused and trafficked also. The Article 47 we discussed. Now, there are 3 international conventions. What are 3 international conventions? Single Convention on Narcotic Drug 1961, Convention on Psychotropic Substance 1971. So one is the narcotic and second is the psychotropic substance after 10 in the gap of 10 years, 61, 71. Just have these things in mind. After that, India passed the 1985 Act. Means India followed these two conventions. India ratified these two conventions, and after that, India passed a national legislature for the regulating in India. UN Convention Against the Illicit Traffic in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance 1988. This is the this is passed after the this came into picture after the India already passed the Act 1985. Now this is the convention India ratified. India ratified all three conventions. Ratified means India first signed it, then Indian Parliament also ratified it that we will follow these conventions. Okay, there are three international conventions. Especially third one is important. The UN Convention Against Illicit Traffic in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances 1988. Okay, sir. That's the thing. That's the second thing. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. So the next news is the organ donation. Organ donation, we know that there are people who have some medical problems. So their important key organs in their body fail to survive. So they need the transplantation. When the rest of the body parts are okay, they are working, but one particular organ which is crucial for their life is not working. For example, the heart is the one of the things. Second is the lungs, kidney. Lungs, kidney and heart are the three major or the which need to be transplanted sometimes. So what are the laws in India? What are the regulatory aspects which we need to understand? Now, manual to set up transplant programs, train coordinator to improve organ donation discussed. Now, government discussed that what should be the manual, what should be the, this whole article is regarding the standard operating procedure. Standard operating procedure, SOP. Means in India, the organ donation field, organ donation area is lagging the standard operating procedure. So this discussed or this article is all about setting up a standard operating procedure for the organ donation in India. Okay, and when you will set the standard operating procedure, means what should be the procedure, what are the rule regulation and all these things. So all the people who are part of this organ donation, who are, you can say, this organ donation program, all those people, for example, who will be the people? The doctor will be indulged, the medical practitioner will be involved, the nurses will be involved, or some other people, whoever will be there. So setting up a standard, setting up a procedure which should act as a standard for all the medical hospitals, all the states throughout the country. This is what they are talking about. Okay, and also about the training of these people, because organ donation is the thing which usually not discussed in the medical practitioners, their study aspect. So what we need to train people, we need to train this organ donation coordinators, so that the things would be easily accessible to people in need. Okay, sir. So manual to transplant. So government discussed about it. Standardizing National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. Now we have an apex level organization to look into the organ transplantation. What is that apex organization? This organization is the NOTTO, NOTTO, NOTTO. That is the National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. This works under the Director General of the Health Service, Ministry of Health. Keep in mind, DGHS, Director General of Health Service, DGHS, Ministry of Health. So National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization, NOTTO, works under the DGHS, Director General of Health Service. Now this is the body which regulate. Now this body is made under some act, that is the Organ Donation Act. Now what is the act? The act is Transplantation of Human Organs and Tissues Act 1994. This is the second thing we need to keep in mind. In prelims they will ask. Transplantation of Human Organs and Tissues Act 1994. And under this act they made a body, National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization, NOTTO, under the Director General of Health Service, Ministry of Health. Now National Organ Transplant Program, we have transplant program, aims to promote organ donation and transplantation across all state UTs. What they do, this program, they have a program, this program try to promote the organ donation. You have read so many times the slogans, जीते जी रक्तदान, मरणोपरांत अंगदान, ऐसा बोलते हैं ना कुछ. तो नेत्रदान, नेत्रदान बोलते हैं ना, नेत्रदान भी बोलते हैं. आइज भी तो आप दान कर रहे हो तो वो कहीं पे क्या हो रही है, यूज हो रही है. वैसे ऑर्गन्स का भी होता है कि आप उनको क्या करो, वो कर पाओ. ऑर्गन्स के साथ क्या एक दिक्कत होती है, देखो नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि एक कोई पर्सन है, वो फैमिली में है, उसकी सराउंडिंग फैमिली के जो पीपल है, अगर इस पर्सन को किडनी का इश्यू है तो किडनी इसके घर के आसपास के जो लोग होंगे या घर के जो इमीडिएट फैमिली मेंबर्स है, उसमें से कोई इनको क्या कर देगा, दान कर देगा. ठीक है. इंडिया का मोस्टली अभी जो ट्रांसप्लांटेशन होता है ना, उसका मेजोरिटी ऑफ चंक जो है वो अपने फैमिली मेंबर से ही आता है. ठीक है. पर इंडिया कह रहा है कि सिर्फ फैमिली मेंबर से नहीं आना चाहिए, पीपल वॉलंटरली क्या करें, दान करें. और वॉलंटरली हो तो जरूरतमंद को क्या हो जाए, मिल जाए. क्योंकि इसमें भी कंसर्न रहते हैं, फिर मेडिकल कंसर्न रहते हैं, है ना. आगे आपका जो ब्लड ग्रुप से लेके आरएस फैक्टर से लेके बहुत सारे इसमें कंसर्न रहते हैं. मेडिकल वाली चीज में अपन नहीं जाएंगे, तो वो सब भी देखना पड़ता है. तो कई बार अवेलेबिलिटी भी नहीं हो पाती. तो इस अवेलेबिलिटी को फ्री और इजी बनाने के लिए गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है कि आप सिर्फ फैमिली मेंबर्स वाला मामला नहीं है, वॉलंटरली रखो, आउटसाइड से भी अवेलेबिलिटी रहे. और उसको अगर आप ऑर्गन कोई डोनेट हो रहा है तो ऑर्गन डोनेट कोई वॉलंटरली कर रहा है. अब जैसे ब्लड डोनेट कर रहा है तो ब्लड को आपको पता है कि कैसे उसको क्या करना है, रखना है. उसको पर्टिकुलर टाइम तक उसको अच्छे से क्या करना पड़ता है, आपको उसको इन्वायरमेंट देना पड़ेगा, उसकी पैकेजिंग करनी पड़ेगी, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल, हर चीज आपको देखनी पड़ती है. ठीक है. सिमिलरली अगर ऑर्गन्स के साथ है तो उसके लिए भी आपको सब कुछ देखना पड़ेगा. अगर कोई ऑर्गन डोनेट हो रहा है तो उस ऑर्गन को वापस आपको क्या करना है, उसको सही सलामत उसको रखना है ताकि वो टाइम पे क्या हो पाए, यूज कर पाए. तो इसके लिए भी आपको कंडीशंस क्या करनी पड़ेगी, क्रिएट करनी पड़ेगी. तो ये कुछ चैलेंजेस हैं अभी इंडिया में ऑर्गन डोनेशन को लेके. ठीक है. दूसरी तीसरी चीज, ये एक और चैलेंज क्या है इंडिया में कि ऑर्गन डोनेशन में कई बार ये होता है कि लोगों को गुमराह भी कर दिया जाता है, किया जाता है. तो कई बार देखा होगा कि गांव के कई लोग जो बहुत ज्यादा पुअर हैं, उन पुअर पर्सन को क्या किया कर दिया जाता है, ऑर्गन डोनेशन के लिए कुछ पैसा का लालच देके उनको ले आया जाता है. ठीक है. और ऐसा भी कर देते हैं. दैट इज टोटली इलीगल. दिस शुड बी स्टॉप्ड. सो दीज आर सम कंसर्न्स रिगार्डिंग द ऑर्गन डोनेशन इन इंडिया. ओके. तो ये आपका ऑर्गन डोनेशन, नेशनल ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट प्रोग्राम चल रहा है. इसका काम यही अवेयरनेस और ये वाली चीजें, और ये आपको समझ आ गया प्रीलिम्स के लिए. अब इसमें और क्या प्रीलिम्स के लिए है कि गवर्नमेंट ने डिस्कस किया है, डिस्कस करके नेशनल ऑर्गन टिश्यू ट्रांसप्लांट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन काम कर रही है, हमको पता है. NOTTO, ये NOTTO अभी नीचे देखा. स्टैंडर्डाइजिंग प्रोसेस है, वन नेशन वन पॉलिसी. अभी क्या होता है ना, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अपने अपने हिसाब से पॉलिसीज बनाती है, और वहां पे क्या होता है, एक स्टेट का जो पर्सन है उसको अदर स्टेट में वो अप्लाई नहीं कर सकता. ये भी इशू है. ठीक है. क्योंकि उसका जुरिसडिक्शन किसी और स्टेट में आ रहा है, वो किसी और चीज से रेगुलेट हो रहा है. तो ये भी बड़े इश्यूज आ रहे थे. तो आप कह रहे हो कि वन नेशन वन पॉलिसी लेकर आओ ऑर्गन डोनेशन और ट्रांसप्लांटेशन के लिए. ठीक है. पहले ये थी कि 65 ईयर की एज लिमिट थी. अगर आपको कोई ऑर्गन रिसीव करना है तो आपकी एज लिमिट कितनी थी, 65 ईयर्स की थी. अभी उन्होंने 65 ईयर्स की एज लिमिट को क्या कर दिया है, हटा दिया है. उसके अलावा भी आप क्या कर सकते हो, ले सकते हो. डोमिसाइल रिक्वायरमेंट थी स्टेट वाली, अलाउइंग पेशेंट फ्रॉम वन स्टेट टू रजिस्टर विद द हॉस्पिटल फ्रॉम अदर स्टेट। अब आप अलाउ कर रहे हो कि आप अदर हॉस्पिटल्स में भी क्या करो, अदर स्टेट के हॉस्पिटल में भी क्या करो, उसके लिए अप्लाई कर पाओ। अगर कोई गवर्नमेंट का पर्सन है, अगर गवर्नमेंट ने अभी ग्रांट किया ये कि अगर कोई गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय है और अगर वो ऑर्गन डोनेशन करता है तो उसको 42 डेज का स्पेशल क्या मिलेगा, कैजुअल लीव सीएल उसका मिलेगा 42 डेज का। ठीक है, ये भी उन्होंने जो ऑर्गन डोनेट करेगा। ठीक है, इंडिया में 2022 में अब तक हाईएस्ट ऑर्गन डोनेशन हुआ है, दैट इज द ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट हुआ है, सॉरी, हार्ट, किडनी और लीवर, ये तीन करीब करीब 15,000 ट्रांसप्लांटेशन हुए हैं। हार्ट का कम होता है, हार्ट डिफिकल्ट भी होता है, किडनी और लीवर्स का ज्यादा देखने को मिलता है। ठीक है, पर मेजर चंक जो है लिविंग रिलेटिव से आया, लिविंग रिलेटिव से आया। ठीक है, और लिविंग रिलेटिव से आ रहा है तो उस रिलेटिव की भी तो एक, अब किडनी दो है, एक उसने आपको दे दी, ठीक है, किसी ने अपने चाचा को किडनी दे दी तो चाचा को किडनी पे वो जी रहे हैं, पर ये बंदा भी तो अपने जीवन में प्रेशर में आ गया, अब ये यंग है, मान लो 30 साल का है, वो एक किडनी पे 50-55 पे जाके इसको खुद को जरूरत पड़ जाएगी, वापस पड़ेगी ना, संभव है। तो ये समस्या देखने को मिलती है कि लिविंग रिलेटिव जब अपना कोई ऑर्गन डोनेट करता है तो फ्यूचर में दिक्कत आ सकती है। तो गवर्नमेंट चाह रही है कि अगर कोई पर्सन जो रिसेंटली डेथ हो रही है किसी की और वो अपने लिविंग विल में पहले से ये डिक्लेयर करके जाता है कि भैया मैं अपने ऑर्गन्स को क्या करूंगा, डोनेट करूंगा, अगर ऐसा डिक्लेयर करके जाते हैं तो ये ज्यादा बेटर है। उससे ये होगा कि वो पर्सन तो अब चला ही गया, तो उसके ऑर्गन्स को आप यूज कर सकते हो जो कि यूजेबल है। अगर 80-85 साल में जाएगा तो हो सकता है उसके ऑर्गन इतने यूज नहीं हो पाए, बट जो ठीक ठाक है, ऑर्गन्स अच्छे हैं, वो यूज कर सकते हो। तो गवर्नमेंट चाह रही है कि वैसा कुछ रहे। ठीक है, तो लिविंग रिलेटिव से ही ज्यादा आ रहा है। अब गवर्नमेंट चाह रही है कि डिजीज्ड लोग जो हैं उनकी तरफ से भी आना चाहिए। स्टेप बाय स्टेप गाइडेंस, प्रीलिम्स के लिए इसमें कुछ नहीं है अपने पास। ठीक है, ये सब प्रोग्राम में क्या हो रहा है वो आपको पता है। ठीक है, वल्नरेबल पुअर को ऑर्गन ट्रैफिकिंग से बचाना है, अभी बताया था, गांव के लोगों को ले आते हैं। ठीक है, स्टेट लेवल पे आपको क्या बनाना है, एनओटीटीओ ऊपर था, यहाँ पे स्टेट एसओटीटीओ है। ठीक है, नेशनल की जगह स्टेट आ गया। स्टेट लेवल पे भी ऐसी एक बॉडी बनाओ जो रेगुलेट करे। ट्रेनिंग किसकी करनी है, सर्जन्स की, फिजिशियंस की, ट्रांसप्लांट कोऑर्डिनेटर्स की ट्रेनिंग करनी है। ठीक है, ये आपका क्या है सर, ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट का इशू है। इसमें प्रीलिम्स के लिए कुछ कुछ चीजें हैं, आपको ये याद रखना है ना। हाँ, और ये एक्ट 1994 में पास हुआ था, ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांटेशन वाला। ये अभी 2014 में इसके रूल्स बने हैं नए। 2024 में जो प्री दे रहे हैं, याद रखना 10 साल पहले रूल बने हैं, पूछा जा सकता है। ठीक है, और 20-30 साल पहले एक्ट भी बनाए 1994 में। 30 साल पहले एक्ट बनाए, पूछ सकते हैं 2014 में क्या हुआ है, रूल्स बने हैं इसके। चलिए सर, सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट, ये एक आर्टिकल हम कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद छोड़ देंगे। ये आर्टिकल बड़ा है एक्चुअली, थोड़ा इसको ध्यान से समझना। सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट वाले को मैं पहले समझा देता हूं आपको पूरा। देखिए सर, ध्यान से समझो, इंपॉर्टेंट है, प्रीलिम्स में क्वेश्चन आने की पॉसिबिलिटी इसमें से भी है। सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट क्या होता है हमको पता है। ठीक है, सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट की डिटेल, क्या क्या एक्टिविटीज को सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट में कंसीडर किया जाएगा, उसकी भी डिटेल अपने पास है, क्योंकि एक हैंडबुक मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ विमेन ने निकाल रखी है उसकी, कि क्या चीजों को सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट कंसीडर करेंगे, केस क्या है एग्जैक्टली। ठीक है, रुकिए, अभी रिसेंटली आपने देखा होगा कि साक्षी मलिक, एक जो इंडियन एथलीट है, साक्षी मलिक इंडियन एथलीट है, और एक अभी उन्होंने एक क्या बोलते हैं, एक धरना प्रदर्शन हुआ था दिल्ली में, जिसमें इंडिया के काफी सारे एथलीट्स ने, एक जो इनकम्बेंट उस समय रेसलिंग फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया के हेड थे, जो कि करंट डिस्पेंसेशन में एक मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट भी है, ब्रजभूषण शरण सिंह, उनके ऊपर सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट का उन्होंने एलिगेशन लगाया। ठीक है, एलिगेशन लगाने के बाद भी किसी तरीके की कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई काफी लंबे समय तक, तो उन्होंने धरना प्रदर्शन भी किया और ये एक्टिविटी चली। ठीक है, इंडिया में एक बॉडी है, नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट कमीशन, एनएचआरसी। एनएचआरसी एक स्टेटरी बॉडी है, और एनएचआरसी ये कहती है कि उनका काम ह्यूमन राइट के डोमेन में क्या करना है, ध्यान रखना है। सारी कंट्री में ह्यूमन राइट्स के मामलों को वो क्या करती है, उठाती है, उसको आगे गवर्नमेंट को वो इंस्ट्रक्ट कर सकती है कि आप ऐसा ऐसा ह्यूमन राइट वायलेट हो रहा है, तो उनका ध्यान रखो। एनएचआरसी ने एक नोटिस इशू किया स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्ट्री को, और उन्होंने कहा कि इंडिया में जो बहुत सारी नेशनल स्पोर्ट्स फेडरेशन है, इंडिया में हर स्पोर्ट्स के लिए एक एक फेडरेशन बना हुआ है, फुटबॉल के लिए अलग बना हुआ है, हॉकी के लिए अलग बना हुआ है, रेसलिंग के लिए अलग है। तो ऐसी कम से कम बहुत सारी नेशनल फेडरेशन है इंडिया में, स्पोर्ट्स फेडरेशन। उन्होंने कहा कि बहुत सारी नेशनल स्पोर्ट्स फेडरेशन जो हैं उनके अंदर एक कमिटी होती है दैट इज कॉल्ड इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी। इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी जिसको बोलते हैं आईसीसी, क्या बोलते हैं? आईसीसी, इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी नहीं बनी हुई है। क्या नहीं है? नहीं बनी हुई है। सारा समझा रहा हूं मैं क्या क्या है। तो इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी नहीं बनी हुई है। एनएचआरसी ने नोटिस इशू किया है किसको? स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्ट्री को, कि इंडिया में जितनी भी नेशनल स्पोर्ट्स फेडरेशन हैं उनमें से कई सारी में, ठीक है, इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी बनी हुई नहीं है। क्लियर? अब क्या है एग्जैक्टली इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमिटी? 1992 में, ध्यान से सुनो, 1992 में आपको पता है कि रेप से रिलेटेड क्लॉजेस जो हैं आपके इंडियन पेनल कोड में है आर्टिकल 376 रेप से रिलेटेड है, ठीक है। आर्टिकल सॉरी आर्टिकल नहीं, सेक्शन 376 इंडियन पेनल कोड में है, वो प्रोविजन तो है, पहले से था। 1992 में एक केस हुआ राजस्थान में के जयपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में। एक लेडी है, उनका नाम था भंवरी देवी। क्या नाम था? भंवरी देवी। राजस्थान में 2 भंवरी देवी वाले केस हुए थे। एक भंवरी देवी का केस बाद में हुआ था, वो नर्स जो थी, वो 2011 या कब का केस है मुझे नहीं पता, बट ये मैं भंवरी देवी का वाला बात कर रहा हूँ। ये भंवरी देवी 1992 का केस है। भंवरी देवी एक सोशल वर्कर थी। कौन थी? सोशल वर्कर। और वो सोशल वर्किंग में जो चाइल्ड मैरिज होती है, चाइल्ड मैरिज के डोमेन में काम कर रही थी, ठीक है। जब उन्होंने देखा कि एक गुजर फैमिली है, उस गुजर फैमिली में एक शादी हो रही थी चाइल्ड मैरिज, तो उन्होंने, डेफिनेटली सोशल वर्कर थी, तो उन्होंने जाके उसको क्या किया? रोकने का प्रयास किया। उन्होंने रोकने का प्रयास किया, बट वहां के लोगों ने उनकी बात मानी नहीं और फोर्सफुली उनको वहां से भगा दिया। ऐसा ऐसा किया। फिर उन्होंने आसपास उस मुद्दे को क्या किया? वापस उठाया, मीडिया वगैरह में उठाने की कोशिश करी। तो वो जो मेन फैमिली थी, उस फैमिली के 5 लोगों ने मिलकर भंवरी देवी जो है उनका गैंग रेप किया 1992 में, ठीक है। वो सोशल वर्कर थी, एनजीओ से भी जुड़ी हुई थी। उनका जब गैंग रेप हुआ तो उन्होंने उसकी डेफिनेटली कंप्लेन हुई, पुलिस कंप्लेंट हुई। पुलिस ने बहुत समय तक तो रिलेक्टेंस दिखाया, कंप्लेंट करी नहीं। फिर जब कंप्लेंट हुई एनजीओ सबकी हेल्प से, तो वो ट्रायल कोर्ट में गया मामला। ट्रायल कोर्ट में मामला जाने पर उस पर कोई डिसीजन आया, बहुत दिनों तक नहीं आया, पर ट्रायल कोर्ट ने बोल दिया कि ये एग्जैक्टली इन 5 लोगों को उन्होंने बरी कर दिया, एक्विटल, मतलब किसी तरह की कोई सजा नहीं हुई उनको, ठीक है। 5 लोगों को उन्होंने बरी कर दिया था, एज फार एज माई नॉलेज इज कंसर्न, उनको बरी कर दिया था। बट अब जो है इन्होंने, भंवरी देवी ने अलोंग विथ सम अदर पीपल, इन्होंने ये गए कहां पर? सुप्रीम कोर्ट सीधा, ठीक है। ऑल्दो इनको जाना इस केस की अपील के लिए हाई कोर्ट था, ठीक है, बट वो गए सीधा सुप्रीम कोर्ट, बिकॉज इन्होंने आर्टिकल 14, आर्टिकल 19 और आर्टिकल 21 के वायलेशन को बताया, ठीक है। इन्होंने आर्टिकल 14, 19 और 21 के वायलेशन को बताया और बोला कि ये फंडामेंटल राइट्स वायलेट हो रहे हैं, इसीलिए हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट में रिट पिटिशन डालेंगे। क्या डाला उन्होंने? रिट डाल सकते हो आप, एफआरस वायलेट होते हैं, रिट डालते हो आप। तो रिट पिटिशन उन्होंने सुप्रीम कोर्ट में दायर की। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रिट पिटिशन को एक्सेप्ट किया एक्सेप्ट। रिट पिटिशन को एक्सेप्ट करके सुप्रीम कोर्ट में उस पर कार्रवाई चली, बातचीत चली। तो वहां ये डिस्कस हुआ कि एक विमेन जो है वो अपने वर्क प्लेस पे सेफ नहीं थी। अरे पॉइंट भाई, वो अपना, भाई विमेन है, सोशल वर्क कर रही है, ठीक है। अब इसका वर्क प्लेस तो डायनेमिक है, चलो जगह चेंज हो जाती है, बट स्टिल वो अपने वर्क प्लेस पे सेफ नहीं थी, पहला। दूसरा चीज, विमेन अभी भी भारत में घर से बाहर नहीं जा पा रही है। क्यों? Just because of these kind of instances. If these kind of instances will continuously occur, that will ultimately have a detrimental effect on the empowerment of women, because women need a safe environment outside, okay. So if she don't have a safe environment outside, it means somewhere article 19 is also violated, because article 19G gives you right to profess anything, right to do business, right to do any job, it gives you right of this. Now if these kind of activities will happen, if women will not feel safe outside or women will not feel safe at their workplace, then that is ultimately deteriorating or the violation of uh, article 19G definitely, and article 21 is definitely right to life and liberty. Okay, so article 14, 19 and 21 is violated. Supreme Court took the cognizance, and in 1997 a historical judgment came in the Supreme Court. Okay, and that judgment is called as Vishakha judgment. Vishakha judgment. Vishakha is nobody but Bhamri Devi. Okay, she filed the case with the Vishakha name. Okay, now what is this? What is the verdict? What Supreme Court said? Supreme Court said that women must feel safe at the workplace. Now government do not have any provision for the prevention of sexual harassment of women at workplace. Government don't have any act. So till the time government make any act, we are giving a guideline for the sexual harassment of women at workplace. Okay, and that guideline is called as the Vishakha guideline. That guideline is called as Vishakha guideline. Got it, sir? And this guideline was given in 1997, and Supreme Court said this is legally binding guideline. Means everybody who is a stakeholder under this guideline must follow this. Okay, sir? That is called Vishakha guideline. So Vishakha guideline is all about the prevention of sexual harassment of women at workplace. Okay. Now for so long the government was thinking of passing a bill in the parliament. Ultimately in 2013 government passed the act that is called POSH Act, Prevention of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013. So right now the sexual harassment at workplace is governed by this act POSH. POSH is passed in 2013, but they might ask you a question in 2024. Also have 10 years. Okay, did you get my point? Vishakha guideline did you get? Bhavri Devi case you got it? And then currently we have POSH Act. Now what we need to understand in this article, the POSH Act. What is the POSH Act? How this act, the Prevention of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, helps women to have a better, safe, conducive environment at the workplace. Okay, we'll understand it. Got it, sir? Now under this act, under this POSH Act, wait, नीचे आओ पहले. Now under this POSH Act, what you need to do, if a woman is employed in a particular institute, every organized institute who have more than 10 employees, must have an ICC, must have an internal complaints committee. So under the POSH Act, it is imperative for all the organization, all the institutions which have more than 10 employees, they must constitute an ICC, and this is a permanent body. Are you getting what? An organization institute have 500 people employed there. They must have an ICC, Internal Complaint Committee, and that Internal Complaint Committee is nothing but a committee which will look into the matter of the sexual harassment at workplace. Got it, sir? And this sexual harassment at workplace complaint will be done by the girl, by the women, the aggrieved person. Now one more important thing, this complaint is not only confined or limited to the people who are employed in this particular institute. Okay, means there are 500 people. Out of these 500 people, There are so many women who are working here. If these working women face any kind of challenge or any kind of sexual harassment, they can file a complaint with the ICC, that is internal body, with the ICC. First thing. Second, not only these women who are working in this organization, women who is visiting this place, even women who is visiting this place and having a sexual harassment case, they can also file with the ICC. Are you getting my point? If some women is visiting this place and facing such kind of problem, they can also file the complaint. So for those who are engaged in the, those who are part of that organization, along with those who are also not the part of organization, either visiting, okay, and sometimes there is a possibility they are not formally employed, they are informally employed. For example, a sweeper is coming daily for half an hour, they are not formally engaged, not on papers at least, they can also file the complaint. Wait for a moment. Hello. Okay. So outsider who are visiting the place can also complain. That is internal complaint committee. This internal complaint committee must comprises of at least 4 members. At least 4 members. And out of these 4 members, the chairman of this should always be women. Chairman should always be women. Why women should be chairman? If the women is the chairman, that it would be easy to approach for the aggrieved person to a woman. Okay, it is a gender sensitive matter. So women, and that this women should be the senior most employee of that particular organization. Senior most employee, most senior women, most senior women. Okay. On the other hand, you should also have one outsider, one outsider, and that's one outsider can be from some NGO or legal background or legal background. Out of these four, women should chair the committee. One outsider can be from NGO or from legal background or anybody who have the experience of public life. Okay. And the rest members can be nominated by the employer from the other members. Okay, sir. That is your internal complaint committee. Now, what is happening? NHRC issues notice that under the POSH Act, it is compulsory for the organizations to have internal complaint committee for both the public and private organizations. Now, the National Sports Federations, they must have internal complaint committees, but they lack the internal complaint committee. This is the concern. Okay. Now, what's the complaint? More than half, 16 of India's 30 federations do not have ICC, which is mandatory under the POSH Act. This is the concern, sir. Brij Bhushan Singh case we discussed. ICC are statutory bodies. Why statutory bodies? Because these are made under the POSH Act. That's why statutory bodies. Okay. Sexual harassment of women at workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act. ICC should have at least 50% should be women. Now this is also important. 50% should be women. One should be senior women employer as the presiding officer. Senior women should be presiding officer, chairman. One should be an external member from an NGO or legal background. Okay. ICC members should be appointed for a term of 3 years and should undergo regular training on the POSH Act. Okay, sir. So this is a permanent body kind of. Every time ICC would be there. Okay. Objectives, what they do? Main objectives to provide mechanism and ensuring a safe and conducive environment for the workplace. It is not always that when a complaint comes then ICC will work. No, ICC is there. They try to sensitize the rest of the people that what are the things. They will make awareness among people regarding the POSH Act also. Okay, so these things are also be done. The gender equality and dignity, conduct a fair and impartial inquiry into complaint. Fair inquiry should be there. Ensure compliance. Now, this law is passed in 2013. Now, what is the sexual harassment according to POSH Act? Lay down the procedure for complaint and inquiry and the action to be taken cases of sexual harassment. Sexual harassment they defined in the POSH Act. Okay, and they also had the handbook. We discussed it. Did the POSH Act came about? Supreme Court judgment passed in 1997. Vishaka guideline. We discussed it. The Bhavri Devi case, gang rape, Rajasthan. Vishaka guideline defines sexual harassment and imposed 3 key obligations on the institute. The court made the guideline legally binding. So there are some things which you can read it. Now what is next? Does the act say about the complaints committee? POSH Act subsequently mandated that every employer must constitute an internal complaint committee at each office or branch that had 10 or more employees. Okay. The aggrieved victim under the act can be a woman of any age. And now this is important. Internal complaint committee will entertain the plea of women only. If this is not gender neutral, means if a male person or a man is having a sexual harassment case, the ICC will not entertain it. Okay, because it is the POSH, prevention of sexual harassment of women at a workplace, not men at workplace. If a man is facing such kind of trouble, then there are other remedies available, not under the POSH Act. Okay. So of any age, whether employed or not, this we discussed. Working or visiting. Now POSH Act, unwelcome act or behavior, these are the things which are defined. Physical contact and advances, a demand or request for sexual favors. Okay, your colleague or your senior is asking for sexual favors in returning to give you something like that. Sexually colored remarks. Okay, remarks are also important. Showing pornography. Okay, pornography should not be shown to you. Any other unwelcome physical, verbal, non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. These are the things which can be part of it. Although the last point is literally vague, but yeah, it is up to the ICC whether they entertain it or not. Handbook on sexual harassment of workplace, Ministry of Women Justice. Okay, some other things are also there. Okay, these things you can read on your own. Procedure for complaint. It is not compulsory for the aggrieved victim to file a complaint for ICC to take action. Okay, ICC can their own also decide. Wait for a moment. ठीक है सर। तो कई बार ये होता है कि जो विक्टिम है, जो एग्राउड पर्सन है, कई बार वो एम्पावर्ड इनफ नहीं होता है कि वो कंप्लेन कर पाए। तो आईसीसी की ये भी रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो क्या करेगी, उनको एम्पावर्ड करेगी, उनको हेल्प करेगी ताकि वो रिटर्न कंप्लेन क्या कर पाए, फ्रेम कर पाए। फिर आ रहा है ये जो काम है सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट, ये काम विद इन 3 months फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ इंसिडेंट होना चाहिए। दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट, विद इन 3 months। ओके, जब इंसिडेंट हुआ है उसके 3 months के अंदर आप उसको कंप्लेन फाइल कर दे। अगर 3 months के बाद करेंगे तो वो कंप्लेन रजिस्टर आईसीसी के अंडर नहीं होगी, ठीक है। बट आईसीसी के पास ये राइट है कि वो अनफोर्सिन सर्कमस्टांसेस या अगर वो कन्विंस्ड है कि इन 3 महीनों में सामने वाला एग्राउड पर्सन नहीं कर पा रहा था किसी भी वजह से, ठीक है, एम्पावर्ड नहीं था, अनेबल था, तो वो क्या करेगा, उस टाइम को एक्सटेंड कर देगा। ये आईसीसी के पास प्रेरोगेटिव है, ठीक है सर। आईसीसी कैन एक्सटेंड द लिमिट। कंसिलिएशन मतलब समझौता भी करा सकते हैं, बट उस समझौते में किसी तरीके का मॉनेटरी सेटलमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए। डिग्निटी को मॉनेटरी सेटलमेंट से आप नहीं वो कर सकते, समझ गए, कि डिग्निटी को आप यहाँ पैसा ले लो सब कर दो, नहीं, वो सेटलमेंट वैसा नहीं है। आईसीसी हैज पावर सिमिलर टू दोज ऑफ सिविल कोर्ट। सिविल कोर्ट के पास जो पावर है आईसीसी के पास उतनी ही पावर है सर, ठीक है। When the inquiry is completed, ICC submitted report to the employer। जो कंपनी का हेड है उसको आईसीसी रिपोर्ट बना के क्या करेगी, सबमिट करेगी। आईसीसी बोल सकती है कि द आइडेंटिटी ऑफ विमेन रेस्पोंडेंट विटनेस एनी इन्फॉर्मेशन शुड नॉट बी मेड पब्लिक। जिस पर्सन, एग्राउड पर्सन जिस पे एलिगेशन आया है, किसी भी चीज को पब्लिक नहीं करना है कि पूरे के पूरे एम्प्लॉयज को बता दिया, अखबार में छपा दिया, ये सब नहीं करना है, कॉन्फिडेंशियल होना चाहिए मामला, ठीक है। आईसीसी रिकमेंड करेगी एम्प्लॉयर को कि सर आप क्या करो, आईसीसी विल रिकमेंड द एम्प्लॉयर कि आप उस पर एक्शन लो, सारा एक्शन का काम करेगी। और इफ द एग्राइव्ड वुमेन रेस्पोंडेंट नॉट सेटिस्फाइड दे कैन गो टू कोर्ट, कोर्ट जा सकते हैं। इसके अलावा आप एक चीज और समझ लो, इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमेटी के बाहर आप कोर्ट जा सकते हो। इंटरनल कंप्लेंट कमेटी उस कंपनी के अंदर उस पर एक्शन लेने के लिए, ठीक है, एग्जीक्यूटिव अंदर का एक्शन है वो। बाहर कोर्ट आप बाद में भी जा सकते हो, बाद में क्या, पहले भी जा सकते हो, मतलब सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट का केस आप कोर्ट में फाइल, पुलिस के पास फाइल कर सकते हो, ठीक है सर। गॉट इट, दिस इज योर पॉश एक्ट एंड दैट्स इट फॉर टुडे। हम लोग कल इसको कंटिन्यू करेंगे। ओके, थैंक यू।